Hi guys, how are you? Is everything good? Everything is much better for me today. I thought that I had really messed up on my MCAL, really badly, but we'll talk about that later. It's all good, everything's fine. So I've been cleaning a little bit. I've had a little bit more energy, so I cleaned half of the kitchen yesterday and most of the other half today. Yes, that's dust. I'll deal with that later. But this is the Christmas stuff that was never put away. So we're just leaving it because Christmas is almost here. There's a lot to do in here, but I'm dealing with it one little bit at a time. Then I gotta work on the rest of the place because it is a frigging disaster. Because when I don't feel well, I can't even complain to my husband enough to get him to do anything that he's supposed to be doing while I'm working. So, such is life. Such is life. And that's okay. Whatever keeps the peace, whatever works, and everything gets done eventually. So, yay. So I have a neat little thing though. I'll show you really quick. See these spots? That is the stuff that I'm just gonna let dry. That is a complete acid dye stain. What was my acid dye doing over here? I don't know. I was mixing colors one day, but yeah, that's a giant acid dye stain. That's a very light acid dye stain. It's just a light stain, but it's enough that you can't scrub it out. Over here, this is next to the stove where I dye. This was a huge blue blotch. And I discovered the other day, because I accidentally dropped a drop of this stuff on. Yeah, this stuff. I accidentally dropped a splotch of it there and it dried. And I was like, ooh, what's that? So I flicked it off and it was a beautiful, pristine splotch amongst all that blue dye. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. But it works. I left it overnight and it is amazing. So tomorrow I'm going to come back and get the rest of these leftover spots and my counter is white again. Hooray! For the record, I'm not going anywhere. Not unless somebody forces me to leave. And that would be so sad because I really like it here. It's so nice. Aside from some of the craziness that we've been through with people trying to get onto the property because it's pretty big. We have a big front yard and a big backyard, and we're by a busy bike path. Like, we're by a really busy bike path. So we get a lot of weird people walking up and down and stopping and, you know, shoving themselves into a corner over there or trying to hop over the fence back there. And then there's a property over there on the other side that's completely empty and people were trying to squat there. It's been a little bit hectic the last couple of months. The last few months this summer was the worst. And it all really kind of started during COVID, but it just got worse and worse and worse. But seems to have gotten better. Even Luca is more calm. She's a really anxious dog and she hears things from a mile away, so she's got us on our toes. I can't say I can't even complain, to be honest, because she does such a good job that when she really goes like crazy, it's because there's somebody, a very strange person out there, and it's usually not a great person. She knows. She's a really good dog. Okay, I'm getting ready to go sit down finally and relax and knit. This is not what I looked like after I got done doing what I was doing today. Look, my hand doesn't want to uncrimp again. Why does it do that? I wonder why that happens. Anyway, what was I saying? Right. So I'm gonna sit down in a second, relax. Finally, this is not what I looked like after I got done cleaning. I looked like a mess. I'm still kind of like, what do I do? What do I do? I'm thinking I'm gonna make people roll for, I'm either gonna, like, I've got an idea. I want to do something fun. This is why I want to do my giveaways, and I like doing them, and it's fun. And I know it's pricey, but it's so worth it. It's so fun. I love to see people happy, and I like to have fun doing stuff, but I want it to be a little more interactive than just like me picking a name or something. So what if I had people do rollies? Rollies is when gamers have, like, just roll a 20-sided die, and whoever rolls the highest wins. We could do that. So all the people that want to play with me can roll a 20-sided die, and whoever rolls the highest wins. And let's say 2 people roll a 20, and then you have another roll between those 2. That would be crazy. That would be fun. That would be one way to do a little giveaway. That would be fun. Or I could do a random die encounter, random yarn encounter, and the viewers roll the die, or maybe one lucky viewer rolls the die. I don't know. There's so many things you could do. It would be so fun. But then that would mean I would have to do it. I hate having to do things. And I hate putting myself on a schedule because I'm really bad at that sort of thing. I'll think of something one day. One day soon. Oh my goodness. Aren't they so pretty? Look at my little yarn babies. They're so nice looking. They're so pretty. I get so emotionally attached. Asmodeus or Asmodeus? I don't know. It's the devil. It's a lot deeper in person. That, like, orange kind of took over, and I knew that it would, little fucker. And that is Mind Flare. Beauty. Beauty. Hard to let that one go. And that is Delilah Briarwood. I mean, you guys, if you know, you know. Like, I love Dungeons and Dragons. I love fantasy. I love science fiction. I love marine biology, which is why I chose the Deep Sea collection as my very first collection. Why did I do that? Nobody knows except for me. You guys, they're so pretty. I don't want to say goodbye. Who is it gonna go to? We know that zombie does. Forget it. Get out of here. Go away. But these, there's a birthday girl out there that's gonna need to tell me which one she wants. Let's talk about my dogs. It's graphic. You've been warned. So the other day, might have been yesterday, I can't remember, I told you guys that I would tell you the story of what happened to me and my dogs over the summer. We bought both of them from the shelter. Dante many years ago, when he was maybe about a year old, no more than 2 years old. We got him maybe 5 years ago, something like that. Maybe 4 years ago. And he's a good dog. He's an American bully, which means he has stubby legs and a bully body a bully head, like a pit bull, kind of. Um, but he's not a pit bull. In other words, if you tried to fight that dog, well, he'll fight. Definitely will jump in. But he's just not going to start a fight. And he's going to be really, really super lazy and super cuddly, like a little teddy bear. He's amazing. He also made a really great service dog. He was Nathan's service dog for a while. Nathan trained him for that, and he did really well. He learned really fast. And he was just a really, really good boy. He is a really good boy. Thank God we still have him. And then, you know, he's getting older, and my husband didn't want to work him as a service dog forever, and he wanted to be able to just, you know, go between two dogs. I never liked that idea. I didn't think that was a good idea at all. I didn't think that he was ready to retire as a service dog. But I think that also, you know, he served his purpose. And I think partly that my husband was concerned that once he's ready because he's more mobile now, he's able to get around better. He was worried, I think, that Dante would be lonely and or be without purpose. So I relented, and we got another dog. I wanted a female, and I wanted another American bully. But, you know, to go out to the shelters and find a specific breed dog, you're usually lucky to find a specific breed of dog. Because even though they say that there are pit bulls in the shelter all the time, they are not all the same dog. They are not. And they are not all the same temperament. They are just not the same. There's all different kinds. And if you're not the right kind of owner, they are not for you. So we ended up falling in love with Luca when we saw her. She had all the same qualities, same shape, almost the same size as Dante. Just more rambunctious. They said that she was 3 years old, and so we thought she was fully grown. And when we brought her home, and I met her the first time, I said, she's really funny looking. She's got really big eyes, a really long pointy snoot, not like Dante's at all, really floppy ears. Obviously Dante's are cropped. She's a little bit longer than Dante and a little bit taller, and her feet are really big. I said, Nathan, I don't think this is right. Is she sick? Is there something wrong with her? She was also really rotund. Like she just gobbled food and air into her body, and she was just really big. Round is what I mean. Like, it was really like swollen. Like she was swollen. I thought, gosh, you know, this is weird. But we got her right away on Dante's diet, and she trimmed down and got her shape back and looked normal again. Started getting muscle, and before you knew it, this girl started sprouting, and she kept growing. And we're like, she's not Dante. Right away, I knew she wasn't an American bully. I knew she was a different kind of bully. And I was terrified that we had gotten ourselves a pit bull terrier. Pit bull terrier is not something that you would want. You would not want any bully breed / terrier. You don't want that. I mean, if you can just imagine, like, the randomness of a bully breed and the excitability of a terrier, that's a no-no. So a pit bull terrier is not a good fit for my house, for my lazy, sweet, do nothing all day dog. Like, no, Dante is a lap dog. What we ended up with was not a lap dog. It was a working dog. It was this girl is on 24/7. We figured that out really fast. Like, look at her. She's out there, you know, keeping tabs on stuff, making sure everything's all right, making sure all the squirrels are in check. Dante could look at a squirrel and be like, that's nice. Anything can run past him and he will not react. Uh, are all American bullies like Dante? No, they don't all have Dante's temperament. But Dante's just got a very mild temperament. A lot of American bullies do. A lot of American bullies like to just chill out on the couch. They could do that all day. They could sleep all day. And then when it's time to go to work, they go to work. I mean, they work and they work and they work. For as long as you want them to work, they will work. But if it's up to them, if you want to sit on the couch all day and be lazy, they're right there with you. Not a problem. They'll go with you anywhere. Luca is like, get up, right? So she wants attention. She wants everything. She wants all the affection. She'll come and she'll take it. She sits on top of me if I'm doing my knitting because she doesn't want me to knit. She wants me to pet her. She wants me to pay attention to her. So she's a very demanding dog, very different from Dante. She takes love. It's very funny. She's very much the second child. But she kept growing and growing and growing. And before you know it, we're like, I think she's finally done growing. They can't grow until they're up to 2 years old. And she sure as heck did. I mean, you could tell she kind of just about finished filling out. Just about finished filling out. So she's she's 2. And she's gone through what I called her terrible 2s. Because I knew that I identified her as an American Staffordshire Terrier. I mean, there's the word terrier, right? I knew what I had, and I knew that I had to be vigilant and careful and always on it with this girl. She needs a lot of, not harshness, but like, she definitely needs authority. She needs guidance. She needs to be told what to do. She needs structure. She needs everything to be repetitive every day. So we did that. We thought we were doing a really good job with her because she's very different from Dante, much more excitability. We had to play with her. She has to run. She has to get exercise. She needs all the attention. Eventually, it got to the point this summer that she started arguing with Dante. And I mean, at first it was like they were play and play and play. Play and play and play. Play and play and play. And then I started noticing she wasn't playing anymore. She was bossing. She wanted Dante to be like her. And she couldn't understand why Dante didn't bark out the window or didn't go running to the door when something happened. He'd be like, what are you doing? Like, because he's used to, if something goes on, we tell him it's okay. We get up and we go deal with it. But her, she's already on it before we can even react. She doesn't let us be the parents, in other words. She's just on it. And eventually it got to the point where, she's getting older and she's like, man, I can't do this all by myself. I really felt like that's how she was feeling. She was feeling really overwhelmed and starting to get really angry at Dante for not getting his ass up. So it was funny until it wasn't funny anymore. And this guy that I watched a video by Robert Cabral because I always watch videos on bully breeds, on what kind of bully breed do you have. I did not want to be caught unawares. Ever since we got Dante, I wanted to know what kind of dog we had. I wanted to learn more about bully breeds because I had one when I was young. But I always was raised to think that pit bulls were vicious animals, protective and good guardians and family dogs, but that they could be very dangerous for other people. I grew up wrestling a pit bull in the backyard, but I knew they were dangerous. I knew they were very dangerous. Any dog is dangerous in your home. Any dog, especially if you have kids. But bully breeds, they come with legendary myths. That locking jaw, those kind of myths, those kinds of stories. They don't have a locking jaw. That they don't have. They don't have a locking jaw. That does not happen. They just have very strong jaws. They do. They're not any stronger than most other dogs, to be honest. But they have a very strong jaw. What they are definitely more so than a lot of other dogs is quite stubborn. When Dante doesn't want to do something, he's not gonna do it. So, Luca, because I was watching this Robert Cabral guy, I watched this one vicious video of him showing how a dog came out and attacked. It was the Philippines or something. Somebody was walking down the street, and some random dog just came out and just attacked a little tiny dog, and it got it in its mouth and just tore it to shreds, guys. It's a sad story. I'm sorry. I apologize, and I should have warned you in advance that this is not going to be a happy hunky dory, dog story. And so that dog was viciously mauled to death, ripped to shreds in front of these people. Not only were they trying to, take the other dog off, they were trying to take the little dog out of its mouth and all the wrong things. And I'm sitting there watching Robert Cabral, watching how he's explaining to you what is going wrong in this entire thing, how he's just breaking it down scenario after scenario for the viewer. And I'm watching because I know I have to learn. I have to learn what could happen in my own home. I know it feels kind of extreme, but I just really felt like I needed to know this because I've never had a terrier like Luca, and I was noticing behaviors that I feel like I wasn't properly digesting, and I was addressing them, but it wasn't enough. And the jealousy between Dante and Luca got to a boiling point. And even though I would address it, because Dante has feelings too, and he would get upset that she's a taker, and we always gave them treats at the same time, and there's a lot that I did wrong and a lot that I did right. I mean, I'm just a human being. I'm not a dog trainer. I'm a dog mom, That's the way I always put it. Well, as I was watching Robert Cabral that one day, I was crying while I was watching it, but I forced myself to watch that video. And he says, unfortunately, the only way to deal with this, and I screamed out loud, not screamed, but I said out loud, is to choke the dog. And we both said it at the same time. To choke, you gotta choke the dog out. And it sucks, and it's scary, and you think that you're not gonna be able to do it, but you can. And there's several ways you can do it. You just come up right behind the dog, and it's busy. It's got another dog in its jaws, so it's not gonna bite you. Most dogs don't want to bite human beings. And it's already on something. So get up on behind it and choke it out. Just take its oxygen away. Remove the oxygen from his body, and he will go limp, and you will let him go. And everything will be fine. And I thought, Jesus Christ, to think that I could have to do that to my dog one day. I don't think I could. And, but he also said that you can get a belt and do that. And let me tell you guys, since I've been through what I've been through with my dogs, I have seen all kinds of people do all kinds of things in the attempt to, separate dogs that are fighting. Please don't ever stick your thumb up your dog's ass, okay? Like, please don't do that. Don't do that. I don't know why anyone would ever do that. Please don't do that. But I saw that. I really should have put up a disclaimer on the... I'm really sorry, but that really upset me when I saw that. And my sister sent me a video of somebody doing that. And I said, please don't do that. Please don't do that to your dog. Like, that's a man doing that. When two dogs are fighting, just go. And yeah, It worked, I guess. Please don't do that. No. Anywho, so one day I'm sitting here and I could tell it's hot. It was really hot this summer. It was the hottest it's ever been. And pities, they suffer from heat issues. Like, they get hot fast. That's why I was out there with a water hose a lot. It was after this started happening. When they started fighting. And they went at each other practically on top of me. Not in the normal playful way. At first it was playful. And then it turned not playful really, really fast. And they latched onto each other. And I didn't know who started it or what happened or who did what, but I had to choke Dante. Because he attached himself to her face. At first they were just like, the way they do. But no, he attached himself. But he also had blood on it because she bit him. I don't think she bit him, she nicked him. Even I had blood on me. I didn't know what was going on. I was breathless on the floor. I had choked my dog, put him on the floor. I didn't choke him out. I just choked him enough that he let her go, and I just put my arm out, and Luca didn't come any further, I didn't know what to do. That was when we didn't used to have collars on them every 24/7. Like 24/7. We didn't have collars on them because they're always here. The little house hippos, they don't need to go anywhere. I was embarrassed. I was humiliated that I went through that. It was horrifying, scary, and it happened more than once. And we tried addressing it, and I didn't know what I was doing wrong. And finally, I remember I took Luca to go get assessed, what's going on. And the trainer just straight out said, yeah, you're either going to have to stop treating them like babies, or you're going to have to get rid of one of them. I spent $100 plus for that man to do that, to say that. That wasn't helpful. It wasn't helpful at all. I don't treat them like babies. I don't treat them like babies. Maybe I wipe their asses because they're dirty. Maybe I put a sweater on Dante because he gets cold. Luca doesn't like it. I wish she did. She doesn't. Not really. I shouldn't feed them off the table or my plate when I'm done eating. I shouldn't feed them on the couch because she gets territorial about that. Should we sleep in them? Should they sleep in our bed? No, probably not. They probably shouldn't do that, but they like it. I like it. It's warm. We like to cuddle. No, I shouldn't do any of those things. But a lot of people do. I do. I always did. Even when I was a little kid, my mom hated it. She hated it. She would throw my dog out and throw it out into the freezing cold, and I would cry, and so it's something that stuck with me, and I still do it. Has it changed? No. Did they fight on top of the bed? Like, go at it, like, teeth out and blood everywhere? Yep. Yeah, but after it happened a few times, and I'm not going to go into every single time that it happened because you don't care, and it's a lot. But I implemented some things. First of all, obviously, no more treats. Nothing unless they've done something exceptionally well. No more treats just because I felt like it, or just because they sat there looking super cute because they're just looking at me waiting. No, nothing like that. Certainly no treats at the couch. No treats where they're going to be territorial whatsoever. I took away all their toys. I did a lot of stuff. I took away all their toys. I implemented collars 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They are never not without a collar. Never. Those collars in particular that I use are hypnotic dog collars. They are airplane grade, US something tensile strength. I don't know. I can't remember what the dude said on his website, but they are amazing. I have never had a problem ever since I started implementing those collars. You could use martingale collars, you can use choke collars, you can use that all you want. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Any of those things can break when you have two of these kinds of dogs going at each other. Any one of those things can break. Did you ever think that I could, like, you know, wrestle with a pit bull? Certainly put a pit bull down if I had to. Get up right behind it and just choke it out. I can. I can, and I've done it to both dogs because I've had to do it to both of them. So, wow. Yeah. I learned how to do that over the summer, and it was because of Robert Cabral, because I watched that video, and I forgot who he was, but I watched that video, and there are other videos that I have watched that are no nonsense kind of people, not the kind of people like, oh, you have to be sweet to your dogs and good, you know, treats and happy dogs and blah, blah, blah. When you have a problem and your problem is severe, you have to deal with it severely. And so I have to run this house with these dogs like not your normal everyday, you know, positive training kind of thing. There's a lot of positive training. Every day is positive training, but there's also some negative training. It is what it is. It is what it is. Look at her out there doing her job, keeping the squirrels. We know the barks. We know the barks. We know when it's people. These are not people. These are squirrels. So the squirrels are probably out there chattering with her too. Anyway, this video is going on for a really, really long time, but I wanted to share that. And when I feel like I needed to get it off my chest. I know I put out a video a long time ago on my Instagram account, like, you know, these videos like, ooh, look at these vicious, ooh, look at it. Those are sound bites that other people are putting out there. And yeah, you can have a very happy house with your little pibbles, depending on the breed that they are. If you are the right house for them, if you have the right attitude, if they have the right temperament, and you're not mixing bully breeds, because when you're mixing bully breeds, that's when things can get a little haywire. I probably would have been better off with another American Bully. I know I would have been better off with another American Bully, but because that's my preferred breed. They're just the laziest dogs for the laziest humans. I mean, it's just, you have to know your breed. I do now. But shows like that, like Robert Cabral, just giving you the nitty gritty, being honest, ugly truth kind of honest, saved my dog's life. It saved my dog from having to go to the vet with her face ripped open. It saved Dante from getting his throat freaking torn out. You know, I mean, would they have gone that far? I don't think so. Because, and this is the way dogs are, the way some dogs can be when they don't hate each other, you know, because they can hate each other. They can. They're like, you know, they have emotions. They can hate each other. They don't hate each other. They just want attention from me, and they have resentment. So even Dante has resentment. You can see it all over his face. So it was a very difficult thing to deal with. I lost track of what I was trying to say, sorry. But it was a very, very difficult thing to deal with. And I want people to know that not everybody has it all figured out. Problems can happen at any given moment. But there are solutions, and when you implement those solutions and you're still having problems, you have to make a decision. I almost did. And I told my husband, he's like, well, who would you choose to leave? I said, well, last in, first out. First in, first out. Last in, first out. He's like, no, you can't get rid of Luca. Listen, we could just go our separate ways and I could take Dante and you can take Luca. If that's what it has to be, then that's fine. But they cannot be doing this. So I, in addition to the collar, I implemented muzzles. And not muzzles as punishment. So the one thing that you can't or shouldn't do, one thing that I didn't do, was they're going to fight, put the muzzle on. You don't want a muzzle to be a negative thing. You want it to be a positive thing. So I put on the muzzle and they happily put it on because they really don't even know what it's for. They happily put it on because I'm not putting it on when they're being aggressive. Just putting it on for no reason and dumping treats inside, and they're like, ooh, you know, having fun trying to grab them. After a while, they're like, hey, I don't want this on my face, and they try and tear it off or something, but by then it's too late, and I settle them down and they chill out and they just fall asleep with the muzzles on, and that's what I want. And you're not supposed to leave muzzles on for a really long time, and you don't have to, but if you've got a scared, nervous dog, and she's nervous because there's so much noise outside or it's so scary out there, and she's going to look at your other dog and go, why the f are you not getting your ass up and helping me because these people are not getting up? That's literally, I could see her brain working. She would get mad because Dante would not get up. It was insanity. So I did that. The collar, the muzzle, and what I also started to do is as soon as she started to freak about someone being outside, one of us has got to get our asses up. If we're in a dead sleep, okay, she has got to be acknowledged. We have to acknowledge her feelings. We have to, because otherwise, then she's gonna turn her feelings around on Dante. So we have to go, okay, let me look, hold on, come here, and guide her to the window. Let's see outside, nobody there, everything's okay, and give her pets and give her love, and then we can go back to sleep. And eventually we were able to do that and start to remove the muzzle so she wouldn't wake up out of a deep sleep and get immediately angry at Dante. And the next thing that we did was we discovered that she loved plushies. And she wouldn't rip them to shreds. Dante does. But she needed them. And so instead of the muzzle, we were able to implement a plushie. You guys, I know this is a long story, but just in case, if you're out there and you're struggling, and I don't care how big your dog is or how little it is, if you're struggling with your baby, you never know what's going to work. These plushies, they're everything. Listen, during her worst moments, I had to drug her. I had to give her Benadryl. Should I be saying that? She needed something to calm down. She was too anxious and we didn't know why. And I think it's just, you know, she hit like that 2-year mark, and she went through these terrible twos where everything was just irritating and upsetting to her and scary. And there was one time when she was out there barking and there were no squirrels, there were no lizards, there were no people, there was no noise. It got dark and she got scared and she was just barking because she was scared. I'm like, no, this dog is too nervous. You have to pay attention to stuff like that. She was just very nervous all of a sudden, like she went through some sort of puberty, and her nerves had hit the fan. I never understood what happened, but we dealt with it and we're on the other side of it. And every once in a while, last night we implemented the muzzle again because I didn't like the way she looked at Dante, and I said, stop that. And then we distracted her for a minute and we played with her for a little bit, and then we gently put the muzzle on her for a little while just to make sure, because we don't want to have those kinds of incidences anymore in this house. So that's where we are right now with our babies. We love them so much, you guys. We absolutely love them so much. We're doing everything that we can for them, but my bully life is not as amazing as other people are putting out there right now. So that's it. That's all I wanted to say was those were the things that happened to me. That was what I learned about my little pibbles. It's been tough, but it's been worth it. She's big, she's strong. I think that she's definitely the biggest she's ever gonna get now. She's done. She's definitely very, very done growing. Um, and she's more calm. So she's more confident. Look, she's all done. She did her territorial barky barkies. She barked at the squirrels, barked at the birds, barked at a light. I mean, she did her routine, and I let her do it. I didn't bother her, and she walked her butt back inside. Slowly but surely, we've gotten that to the point where I can go out there and interrupt her, and she will come. She'll just be like, oh, okay, and time to come inside. And she listens, and she comes, she gets her treat, and she sits down. So I don't know if I'm going to keep on posting about, puppy problems. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But that is my show for today. Last thing that I'm going to talk about, and I know this has gone on for a long time, so I apologize for that. But the last thing that I'm going to talk about is, yes, I thought I was going completely bananas with my MCAL, which is right here, and I'm ready to show you guys. I have not been making like a ton of progress. Clue 3 is coming out tomorrow, and this is barely where I am. I thought I was done. Like, I thought I was done when I was about here. And I was like, oh my God, my thing does not look like everybody else's. It's not right. It's not wide. Like, oh my God, what am I doing? Yeah, I still have like 5 more of these to do. I was not counting right, so I'm good. It's growing. It's a little crooked in some spots, but I don't care. I don't care. And I'm starting to braid it, so yay. I'm making progress, you guys. I'm happy about that. So I think I'm going to let it go there because this got really, really long, and I didn't mean for it to get that long, but I just had to share that just in case anybody else is struggling with their puppies. Don't feel bad. We're not perfect. We do the best that we can for them, and we're not dog trainers, but some I feel like some dog trainers out there, they just don't get it. Like, they don't get it. No one's out here treating animals like children. You treat them like respected members of your house. So you need to also learn how to respect them. That first and foremost, they need to learn to always respect you, and always respect the people that come over to your house, so you don't have any problems. But also, you have to respect them. I think I realized once I realized why she was so upset at Dante. A lot of the times, not all the times, but a lot of the time, she would literally turn him around. She would nudge him out of the way and spin his ass around so he could watch that door. We have, in this living room, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 doors, not including the double doors or the opening to the way to the bathroom. There's just too many entrances, and so she would be most nervous when we were on the couch. So you had to watch that point over there, and she had to be over here on the couch, and if he didn't do that, she would get really upset. She was tired. She was sick and tired of always being the one that was on it. I knew that. I could tell. She wanted to rest. And Dante didn't do anything. He was always resting. So, it's weird. It's weird to say those words out loud to people, but that is what happened. And when we acknowledged that, she relaxed. She calmed down. We would get up and say, okay, get up and go look, let's see. Maybe we might even go out and walk with her. Everything's okay, Luca. Everything's fine. Good job. And we go back inside. Like, why would anybody ever think that something like that would work? But it did. Anyway, just putting it out there in the universe in case anybody ever needs to. And if you ever need some tips on dogs and issues with dogs, Robert Cabral is a good one. And one day I'll put out the rest of the ones that I've watched that I rely on all the time for my dog training needs. I'm a major YouTuber, you guys. I mean, YouTuber as in like I'm always watching YouTube. That's the only way that I learn. Okay, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.